Go to the audio soundbites. Bill Donahue, this is from the Catholic League. Last night on Channel 2 News, Channel 2 Eyeball News in New York City.
Never before, unprecedented in American history, for the federal government to line up against the Roman Catholic Church. This is going to be fought out with lawsuits, with court decisions, and, dare I say, maybe even in the streets.
Maybe in the streets. So now something is blown up in their faces. They probably expected it to. They relished this, I think. I think the people at the regime love this. I think they love it when Bill Donahue gets livid. I think they love it when the Catholics get mad. I think they love taunting their opponents. I think they love every aspect of this. Now, whether or not this finally awakens people above and beyond the Catholic Church, you know, even Muslim clerics have come out in opposition to this. And if this regime is going to hear anything, it'll be them. Here is Bishop James McFadden. This is January 24th in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, on an ABC News affiliate during an interview.
In the totalitarian government, they would love our system. This is what Hitler and Mussolini, all of them, tried to establish. A monolith. So all the children will be educated in one set of beliefs and one way of doing things.
Now, the drive-by is very concerned, folks. The libs in the media terribly upset about this. On Morning Joe today on MSNBC, Time Magazine political analyst Mark Halperin had a discussion about this, and they're worried. How's Obama going to convince these idiot Catholics to understand what's good for them? Contraception's good for them. Abortion is good for them. When are they going to understand this? Listen to this discussion.
When you do something this complicated, when you have a policy that implicates religion and people's deepest feelings, you cannot leave it to the bureaucrats to just announce it. This is when a president, as politically dangerous it is, must step forward and explain it himself.
I think they were surprised, Mika, by this. Yeah. I think they had a blind spot here that they didn't realize how this would upset Catholics.
Well, and I don't think the way they have it laid out is the way it's being characterized by mostly those on the right.
It is being mischaracterized in some ways, but again, there's a vacuum. The president got elected to be the leader. He needs to explain why has he put his finger on the scale on the side that he has. Why is that the right policy for the country?
He can't say it that way. It's not the right policy for the country. It's an affront. It's the president of the United States telling Catholics he doesn't believe what they believe, and he doesn't respect their right to believe it, and that they are wrong, that the state will have dominion over the Catholic Church. The state is going to have dominion over the rights and freedoms of the Democrat voter base. This is all about politics. It's all about keeping the Democrat voter base happy. The feminazis and the far left, who hate the Catholic Church. Obama's doing exactly what his base wants. AIDS activists have thrown condoms at Cardinal O'Connor in the church. There's the political leftist activists, whatever the issue, despise any authority, any source authority. They despise anything that seeks, in their mind, to make a moral judgment. They can't stand it. They didn't get caught. What is this surprise? Halperin, you're better than this. To say the regime got caught, they were surprised. They wanted to do this since 2009. That's why I started off the Kathleen Sebelius story from February 2009, where they spell out what they want to do inside of Obamacare. This is a desire they've harbored for a long, long time. And now they're in the process of executing it. Now, it is being said that the regime is hinting that they may be having second thoughts on their contraception mandate. Here's David Axelrod. He's on MSNBC this morning as well. And a co-host, Mika Brzezinski. Has the White House failed in its messaging on this?
Secretary Sebelius included an exemption for churches and church employees. The question is now about these extended affiliated institutions like hospitals and universities. And there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of women who work in these hospitals and universities who are not Catholic, or they may be Catholic, but they use birth control. And the question is whether they're going to have the same package that every other woman in the country has, the same right and access to basic preventive care.
They don't care about the Constitution. They're going to change this country whether the people want it or not. And as always, they're going to focus on, what about the people who don't like the Catholic Church? The Catholic Church, separation of church and state, if it's an institution But Mr. Limbaugh, they take federal money. You know how hard it is not to take federal money in education anymore? This is all flat out absurd. Give me these excuses. They take federal money. We all know what's going on here. It's right in front of our faces. We just have to admit it.